All right, Robert Benavides here for the Boxing Mob with Stephanie Simon after her second professional fight. Stephanie, how did you feel the fight went?
Hey, I felt like it went well. I wasn't satisfied though, because I felt like I could have got the knockout. But overall, I think it was a big improvement from my first fight. I landed really hard shots, and I went to the body, and I was just chopping wood. I felt in control the whole time. So it was my first 6-round fight as well. That was also really cool to have a 6-rounder. So
you had a pretty decent amateur career. Talk a little bit about that and some of your experience, and
Yeah, so I started boxing at the Naval Academy, United States Naval Academy, Annapolis, Maryland. On the novice level, I won a couple of collegiate national championships. 2019, I started kind of diving more into the elite level of boxing. By 2020, started going to my first USA Nationals, and by the end of 2021, I had won like several US Nationals as well as National Golden Gloves. Then in 2023, I won the Olympic trials, and throughout that time, I was on Team USA for about 3 years, 2 to 3 years. So I turned pro after the trials. So now we're here, I'm 2-0, and taking all my skill set and everything I learned from the academy and from the amateurs and Team USA and applying it to my style now.
And talk to us about you being a Marine, and you're still active, and how does that inform you in your fight game and how you train?
Sure. Well, Marines, what we always say is we're first to fight, right? So it's in our DNA. We're fighters, we're go-getters, we're type A personality, and we like violence. So it fit perfectly. There's like, being a Marine, I feel like has helped me immensely in my boxing career, because there's a certain mentality that we have. There's also a way we carry ourselves with pride and with dignity and respect, and I pretty much just carried that over into boxing. And I'm in the reserves now. I did active duty for about 5-6 years. I'm a captain in the United States Marine Corps. I actually work out of recruiting station Los Angeles in Benavides, and I assist with recruiting. So that's kind of my job on the Marine Corps side of things.
I love it. Talk to me about the colorways, the orange, and what's the significance there? Is that
So the Marine Corps colors
all right,
are.
let's start that again. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
So the Marine Corps colors are red and gold, and I decided to kind of have my fit and my gear matching the Marine Corps colors, just to have the sense of pride. And I have my friend Trey in my corner, who is a combat veteran. I have a bunch of Naval Academy friends and Marines and sailors that have lived all over the world and have been stationed and have deployed all over the world that are here right now that came to the fight. And so it's like a homecoming type fight. Even though I'm not from LA, it feels like I'm from here because I had such a big crowd, and I'm so grateful that I had friends that were willing to fly out to come see me. So military people, we stick together and we come in packs, and I've learned that throughout my experience as a professional athlete. So.
Without getting too much heavy into politics, as we know, like the administration's cutting out all these clubs in the military. How do you feel about that?
One of the best things about the Naval Academy was that we had 100 extracurricular activities, including, everything, like Native American club, Peruvian club, Cuban club, everything you could think of. And it was probably the best thing that we had to offer outside of all the military stuff. It was a way for these students to kind of get away from the very difficult, demanding day-to-day at the Naval Academy. So those extracurriculars getting cut is heartbreaking. I know my mother is in the Facebook group, the parents' Facebook group for the Naval Academy, and a lot of people are pretty upset about it. I hope things change. I feel like those clubs and those groups are what make the academies awesome, because at the end of the day, what midshipmen do outside of our day-to-day tasks is what keeps us sane. We're doing all this stuff, we're marching around, we have so many different demands and so much pressure on us, and our academics are so difficult. To be a part of a club or a part of extracurricular, it's like, it brings that sense of family. So for that to be gone now, it's kind of heartbreaking.
On a lighter note, talk to us about the fascination with Michael Jackson.
Oh man, I love Michael Jackson. I've always loved Michael Jackson since I was 4 years old. I remember watching all his music videos in our living room in Atlanta, Georgia. And I don't know, I've just been obsessed. My brothers and I would sing 3-part harmonies to some of his songs growing up. Like, all of us we can name any song from him, we can sing any song from him. So a lot of times I actually kind of integrate some of his dance moves in my boxing. Not always, but sometimes I get a little bit, you know, little head movement, little Michael Jackson in there. But I've loved him since I was a kid. So.
All right, and then last question: what can we expect in the future? What's next for you?
Yeah, well, I'm in a great weight class. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano are at 140, so I don't think that I want to jump to that yet, but hopefully in the next couple fights I can start to increase the level of the opponents and fight on bigger stages. And I'd love to have a world title shot within a year and a half. And for women's boxing, it moves quickly, so I'm aware of that, and I feel every fight I'm getting a little better, and I'll be ready for that big fight.
All right, and let's close it off with every Marine says something to each other. I saw one of the guys from the commission say that. How we close this out?
Semper Fi, or we say oorah, Semper Fi, Ra. We have a bunch of things to say, but Semper Fi is a big one. So Semper Fi.